fourth principle on how to 10 times your business, and this is the principle of rhythm. In fact, in this episode, I'm going to go through a concept, a story, and then the 7 steps to be able to 10 times your impact from 1 to a million by just understanding this concept of rhythm. Now, you might be right now struggling to find customers. You might be just figuring out how to get your first business started. You might be trying to juggle multiple businesses and wondering where all your time has gone. And in every one of those cases, wherever you find a block, it's actually not a block as much as just a mismatch of rhythm. This morning, I was down on my bike taking a ride to the beach, where just sitting there watching the waves and just seeing those waves, I was reminded of the Zen saying that in nature, nothing is rushed and all is accomplished. Because nature follows rhythms in everything, from the sun and the moon that go through the night sky, all the way through to the crop cycles, all the way through to the water cycle. Everything follows a rhythm. And in your business, the same thing needs to happen as well. Take this as a thought. What if your wealth was not somewhere far away? What if it was right in front of you? It's just all a matter of pace. So for example, a plant, right? If we had a plant here and we decided that we wanted that plant to grow, well, we could, on the one hand, water it too much, in which case it would die, or we could water it not enough, in which case it would also die. On either side of too much or too little is life, is flow. And in the same way in your business, there's a very good chance that you're either going too fast or too slow right now, where what does it feel like to go too slow? It feels like it's impossible to find the right customers. It's like chasing all the time to try and get any kind of traction. What's it feel like to go too fast? Well, things are coming your way, but you're not making enough money. You're in too low a gear. I was looking at my bike when I actually got to the beach, and I realized that even the things that we make that work are all based on flow as well. So like in a bike like this, if I was going too slow, I'd be in too high a gear. I need to downshift. If I was going too fast, I would need to slow down, and I'd actually find the right pace. So as a result, I didn't burn out the engine. Go too slow, you stall. Go too fast, you burn out the engine, or burn out yourself as well. And so this concept of actually getting to exactly the right point is what I'd like to share a story with you on, because your wealth is right in front of you. And whenever I look at an entrepreneur, at their business, I can see, are they going too fast? Are they going too slow? And what do they need to do to just right back into their rhythm again? And before I actually go into exactly what these different steps are of the impact meter and my story, have a look at this slide here. This shows you the 7 steps of impact, starting for how do you actually get 1 customer, through to how do you go ahead and get 10 customers, like 10 times the size, and how do you get 100, knowing that your business has nothing to do with how many products you have. You might be there busy on your product, but products aren't what pay you money. Customers pay you money. So it's about the customers and how many customers you have, and the way you get 10 customers or 100 customers, totally different from how you get 1,000 or 10,000. And at every step, it's like a new gear that your business needs to go to in order for you to move forward as well. So I want to take you right back to the beginning of my career. As an entrepreneur, this was after my first business, and I had actually just sold that business, and it hadn't given me the payout that I wanted, and I'm going to tell that story at another time. I thought I was going to do super well out of it, and it turned out I actually not only did not do well out of the sale, I actually ended up going negative, because it turned out that I owed the taxman money personally that I didn't even know. I was in my very early 20s. I was just figuring that stuff out in those days. So I was like, I've got to go out and figure out a way to make money quickly. How am I going to go out and do that? So what I did was I first of all did something which was totally the wrong thing, because it was like starting in 3rd gear. I saw this was like way back in 1994, 1995, the internet was just coming, and I thought, okay, what I'll do, because I love the concept of the internet, I think most people don't understand it yet, if I could go out and create something like the AA of the internet, a way to help people get onto the internet. And I had this great concept, which I went out to all the magazine companies that I could find in London at the time to say, hey, here's my great idea. And they all said, no, we don't want to support you. We don't see the value in it. And you know what? What's so interesting about this is not necessarily that the idea was the wrong idea. It was that I myself had no credibility. People didn't know who I was. I didn't have the track record. So there's no reason that they actually would have had to listen to me or actually believe in me in the first place. Trust comes from confidence, which is internal trust, and credibility, which is external trust. And I simply didn't have it. That's a perfect example of trying to sell a product before I had a customer. Perfect example of trying to start in too high gear. There was no flow, and no matter how good I thought I might be or how great the idea was, it wasn't going to work. So what did I then do? I went back. I remember sitting down with Renata. At that point, you know, Kathleen was on the way, my first daughter, and I was like, got to figure out a way to make money. So maybe what I should do is go and see if there's someone who's got a problem that I can solve. That's more on the right path. But here was a problem. What I did was I thought, well, I know how to run a business. I've set up my first $1 million business. Even though I'm now no longer in it, I could still go out and actually share my knowledge with others. These were before the days of mentoring, coaching. So I just put an ad in the paper saying, consultant, if you'd like to help improve your business, I can help you. This is who I am. This is what I think I could actually do to help. And off the back of that, I got a call. It was from a plumber. He was about an hour down the road. And so I thought, okay, what I'll do is I'll actually go visit him, see if I can help out his business. Sure enough, when I went and actually sat with him, I came up with all sorts of brilliant ideas, or at least I thought so, and he thought so too, to help him with his business. At the end of it, I said, would you like to continue? Should I actually work with you and help you turn your business around? He said, definitely, I'd love to work with you. Only one problem, I have no money. And I thought creatively, oh, that's okay. We'll do it on results. Like once you make money, I'll make money, which seems to make sense, wouldn't you think? Until I went home and I sat down with my wife, and Renata said, so let me get this straight. You went to someone who didn't have money. You showed him you could help him. Now you're going to help him to make money while he doesn't have money. Why wouldn't you just help yourself when you have no money to go out and do something that makes money? And what I'd done is I'd gone to the total opposite side, which was to go find someone who might have a need for my service, but who simply didn't have the ability to pay me, which again is a wrong thing. Let's go back to this impact meter, and you can see the very, very first step. The number one is, how do you serve the personal challenge or problem of someone to the extent that they're actually willing to pay you money? Because if you don't do that, then you're going to end up, again, spinning the wheels and never getting any traction. So what did I do then? This is the final part of the story. I then basically took my first idea, which was the one on going out there and becoming part of the internet, and I started sharing with my friends and said, if there's anyone that you know that you think really has a challenge or a problem within their business, which is along the technical lines, the technology lines, where you think that I could help solve that, I'd love to have a conversation with them. One of my friends, Mark Littlewood, he sent me a couple of days later from the Sunday newspapers a story about two of the founders of Dell Computer with Michael Dell. One of them was called Martin Slagter, who used to run the entire European side of Dell, and the other one was called Andrew Harris, and he was based in Texas, and he used to run the entire global side of Dell, taking it from just America to all around the world. And they'd set up their own company, which is called Habitech, which was doing exactly what it was that I wanted to do. I called them up, I went over to see Martin, and I just sat with him, and I said, I had this idea, same as you, but you guys are clearly well ahead of me. I have no intention of going out there and competing with you. I would love to come work with you in whatever form is going to work for you. He says, sorry, we're not hiring right now. I said, I work for free. He goes, well, that would be a bit weird. And I said, no, it wouldn't. Just give me a space. I'll just come in and just put me on sales, put me on marketing, whatever it is, until I can prove myself. Because I'm so passionate about this concept and about what you're doing right now, that I know that there's probably some challenge somewhere that you're looking for to get filled that I could actually help you on. Just looking for the problem that I can solve instead of going out trying to get my own product that I can sell. And sure enough, he said, well, actually, we do need more sales, so maybe you can help us on that. I came in, I joined the team, one thing led to another, where then I ended up becoming the head of the sales. Then I started actually generating income when they could see how much income I could generate for them, and eventually I became the general manager for the entire UK. And that was my story before I ended up coming out to Singapore. And I share that because I have had so many false starts in all these different directions because I was going too fast or I was going too slow, because I was trying to start in too high a gear or I was left in too low a gear. And by understanding exactly where you're at, you can either shift up and claim back your time, or you can shift down and actually get into flow. Either way, there's always a way for you to actually get back into where the money is, and more importantly, back to where you're truly delivering value. I wanted to share that story. I wanted to also share those 7 steps, which I'm going to go into more detail in. And I wanted to finish up here where you can see that the new crop cycle is starting here. We have a rice paddy that has just been planted. This will all turn into a field of rice not too long in the future. And it was because of understanding that there's a cycle, there's a timing, that there's a patience that's required, and most importantly, whatever industry you're in, whatever level you're at, there is a step-by-step for you to follow to ensure that you actually either slow down or speed up, and to treat your business like music. When you get into rhythm, when you get into harmony, then it's just a matter of time before everyone begins to dance. And with that, I want to say good luck over the coming week. Do post your notes down below as to what has been of highest value in this video and biggest learning for you. There is a micro degree which is free of charge, where you can actually go and find your flow, and I'm going to be sharing about a second micro degree on the 5th step, which I'll be going through in the next week. So if you're coming to England, I look forward to seeing you there, because I'm about to head over there now for our events that's going on. If you're coming to South Africa, I'll be there in February. Look forward to seeing you there as well, or in Australia in March. Until then, have a fabulous week ahead, and we'll catch up with you next week.